Hello and welcome to Africa Today. I am Esther Mokwariola. In a continent where not too young to run through deserts and sail through seas in search for greener pasture, daily life either comes with possibilities to either run for or realities to abscond from. Latest developments in Nigeria have seen social conversations and agitations go from tweets to streets where young people believe they are not too young to run for a political office in a system where the odds are far from being stacked in their favor. And so we ask, what are your thoughts on political developments in Nigeria amidst calls for more youth participation in politics ahead of the 2019 election? You can join the conversation and share your thoughts with us on Twitter at TVC News NG. We take a report now, and Africa Today will continue. Welcome on board.
Just 2 days after President Buhari pledged in his Democracy Day speech to sign the Not Too Young to Run bill, and he has fulfilled this pledge. The bill, which the president describes as a formidable legacy in Nigeria's maturing democracy, ensures a reduction in the minimum age for elective office in Nigeria, with the eligible age for members of the State Houses of Assembly reduced from 30 to 25 years. Likewise, the eligible age for aspirants for the House of Representatives is reduced from 30 to 25 years, while that for the office of the President is reduced from 40 to 35 years. President Buhari expresses surprise that age limits for senators and governors remain untouched, and believes that this is an issue that needs to be addressed going forward. Nevertheless, he is optimistic that the piece of legislation opens up the political field for young Nigerians to leave their mark.
You, the young people of Nigeria, are now set to leave your mark on the political space, just as you have done over the decades in entrepreneurship, sports, art, media, entertainment, technology, and several other fields.
He urges the young advocates not to stop at what they have achieved, but to now position themselves to grab opportunities available for them.
I am confident each one of you will transform Nigeria in your own way, whether through media, agriculture, enterprise, economists, engineers, or as lawmakers in your state or at federal levels.
Consider it a day of victory for the Nigerian youth. It's not just the constitutional amendment that has taken place, but it's the rebirth of a new generation in politics.
And I'm calling on all Nigerians, young people, to stand up and actually contest. Don't let this bill be another one that's not implemented and not useful. Make sure you come out, use the bill and contest. Vie for positions in your State House of Assembly, even local government, chairmen, ward councillors, whatever it is. Vie for office, make a difference, make an impact. Nigeria needs you, we need you, and I'm so proud and so excited of this very day.
Welcome back. The global frenzy of young people playing an active role in democratic governance across the world is said to be gaining momentum in Africa, especially in Nigeria, where President Muhammadu Buhari recently signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law. In a brief remark after signing the bill, President Buhari told youth representatives that they can now aspire for positions of president, but pleaded that they postpone their campaign until after the 2019 general election. Joining me in the studio on Africa Today, I have Otumba Segun Adewale, politician and Action Democratic Party governorship candidate for the upcoming election in Ekiti State, southwest Nigeria. And on Skype, I have Alista Shoyede, media consultant and entrepreneur based in the United Kingdom and presidential aspirant in the 2019 general elections. Good to have you both on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let me begin with you now, Adewale. We understand that you're also a former PDP senatorial candidate for Lagos West, southwest Nigeria, that is.
Yes, please.
Now you are gunning for the position of a governor in Ekiti State. One will begin to ask, why are you interested in Ekiti politics?
Oh yeah, I was born here in Lagos, and I've been doing my politics in Lagos for all along. But the reason why I'm going home is because of dearth of good leadership in Ekiti State. Ekiti State, the level of poverty compared to Lagos is phenomenal. Whereas in Lagos, when somebody is poor, you might not even know until you get to his or her house. But in the Ekiti State, you can feel poverty, you can touch it. And, all along the years, I thought, with the big names I've been hearing, so we thought things, would get better. But I have no choice than to go home because somebody need to reverse that trend. That's the main reason why I'm going home. And the second reason why I'm going home is, you're here in Lagos, no matter what you do, even when you win an election, they will tell you, oh, you're not a Lagosian. You're not a Lagosian. That's what everybody will be telling you, When you come the time to compensate you, maybe with positions. I'm not desperate, but when you work so hard, like last election, out of the 10 local government, I won 7. But 3 local governments, was announced that was more than 7. Right. No problem. But even in your party, they will tell you you are not a Lagosian. That's the reason why I said, you know what? Let me go home, go and and see what I can do with the people at home. When I have my uncle is at home, the challenges they have is just 10,000 sometimes to just buy seed. But in Lagos,
he's a farmer.
He's a farmer. Sometimes he just text me. Although I keep on helping him. But I thought, if my uncle getting 10,000 naira can be a major challenge, how about the rest? That's why I said, we can't allow the same political
the crop of politicians,
to just continue in every 4 years. Most of them are political jobbers. Most of them, to me, are paperweight politicians. All they do amass wealth personally. Every 4 years they amass wealth at the detriment of the people. So I just thought, what am I doing here in Lagos? You are in Lagos. You're trying to change things. And the people you are trying to even change, work for, fight for, are not even ready. So let me see if I can take the knowledge that I have, the experience, back home, and see how we can raise power from the same set of people that will be facing our Commonwealth.
Now, Alistair, let me quickly come to you now. Definitely when the president passed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law, it was greeted with so much frenzy and excitement. Now you are gunning for the top job as the president of the country in Nigeria. This Not Too Young to Run bill, is it something we should see as a different, should we see something different, or what next after that?
Well, thank you very much for having me. And there's no doubt that the president has signed it, and a lot of people are happy about it, especially the younger generation who feels that by reducing the age would allow them to contest in the coming election in Nigeria. But the reality as well is they need to have the resources, they need to have the capacity, the finance for them to be able to pick political parties form, especially in the big major parties in the country. Nevertheless, as you fully know, there's about another 50 political parties in the country that are looking for qualified, not just young, but qualified, experienced people with capacity, people who can do a job when given the opportunity to be elected or appointed into any government in the country. Yes, there's no doubt that this is a new thing for Nigeria, but for us, especially, we have a movement called Yes Nigeria Movement, which has been going for about a year. And what we have actually been doing is we've been going around to the cities, to the villages, educating the electorates about their right as Democrats, for them to know that the people elected into office supposedly should be servant leaders, rather than people, as your guest is talking about, amassing wealth. And again, of recent, we have seen quite a lot of existing governors talking about the kind of thing that they have been doing to the electorate, who they were supposed to provide services to. So for me and many other people who are looking forward to 2019, it's about a change, but change to a better and a greater country. That's the reason why we're now joining the race. That's the reason why we're joining politics. If there is really an industry called for the politicians, almost everybody that is of voting age or from the age of 18 is technically a politician, because you make a choice, left or right. You elect whoever is going to be in office for the next 4 years. And this definitely has given the 70 million Nigerians the opportunity to get ready for 2019.
Right. Right, let's quickly go on a short break now. You're watching Africa Today, and we've been looking at political developments in Nigeria amidst calls for more youth participation in politics ahead of the 2019 election. Now, in recent years, one major goal of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development has been to ensure a brand of politics that is responsive, inclusive and participatory, with youths at the forefront at all levels across Africa. The Not Too Young to Run bill, which is now a law, is the fourth alteration to the 1999 Constitution, which saw amendments to relevant sections by reducing the age of those eligible for elective positions in the country. Well, now let me still continue with you now, Alista. From what I just read out, this is the fourth time we're having an alteration in the Constitution to favor the youth. Now, one will begin to ask, if we're talking about youth participation in politics, how ready are the young ones to take over power from the center and not stay by the sidelines?
Well, the Nigerian population is talking about, we have an estimated almost 60% of our population are in their youthful age. Now, the question is, out of those who have registered and received their PVC of almost 74 million, what is the percentage of those who actually have the PVC? Maybe, again, you might find out that is within the region of 60 to 70%. But again, out of that, it depends, based on the 2015 election, we know almost is roughly about 15 point something million people that got the present incumbent government in office. So the point really now is not just having the PVC that is going to create the change. It's actually using that PVC to go out on those days of election and voting for the right candidate that are out there contesting for various offices across the country. So if that can happen, then out of the so-called 74 million that have registered, then there is the possibility of having a turnout of almost 60 million voters on that day. Out of that 60 million, if you do the calculation based on 2015, it means what we're having right now in government is just a fraction of about 44% that actually elected the present people who are leading in our country. Now, my expectation is, and should be, that the youth and the elders join a hand in solidarity to get ready. Nevertheless, we have a lot of people that have declared their interest in various offices across the country. There must be a strategy, there must be a synergy whereby some may have to work with other people. Even the major parties are looking forward to working with the smaller parties across the country in order for them, as they target, to wrestle power away from the present government in the country. So the reality is there has to be a strategy. The political parties are working out strategies, and I believe the aspirants as well are working out strategies for them to see how they can strengthen and unite in order for them to challenge the leaders that are presently in offices across the country.
Right.
It has to be a strategy. There's no doubt about it.
Indeed, there has to be a strategy, and we hope that strategy also works for the young minds. But let me quickly come to you now, Adewale. You are a politician, and this is not your first time coming out again to say you want to run political office, and now you're looking for the top job as the governor of Ekiti State. But there is a question that one would like to ask. Who funds your campaign?
Okay, fine. Nobody. I'm just, I'm doing it on my own. I've been fighting the establishments for about 14 years now, thinking that, we don't have to rely, on the godfathers.
Really?
Yeah, because if
But
you
that is very hard in this in our climate, because most young ones will say if you don't have a godfather to support your political ambition, you are nobody. You are politically inconsequential, if I'll use that language.
Yeah, in fact, somebody told me, that if you are a nobody and you don't know somebody, you will become a nobody in politics. If you are a nobody and you don't know somebody, you become a nobody. But I'm trying to change that definition. That's why I've been challenging the political hegemony of the Godfathers since about 13 years ago on my own. See, let me just go back a little.
How has it been? How has the road been?
It is tough because, number one, election in Nigeria has been monetized. That's one. See, just to react to what the presidential aspirant was saying just now, it's not that's just theory. Nigeria is different, The point is just that even the system is skewed towards the money bags. That's what I'm saying. Even the system, the elite, the youth that would, that will come out and vote and change the status quo. You know what I mean? This system has deliberately skewed them out. How? For instance, now, to even register, to even get the voters, the PVC, is difficult. How many bankers can boast? How many elites can boast that they have the PVC? The PVC is designed for the illiterates and the poor. You know why? The procedure of getting the PVC is so cumbersome that if you are okay or you are busy, you will not even want to get it at all.
So what's your point exactly?
I'm saying that the real people that can bring about the change, have been deliberately, taken out of the equation by the system. For instance, getting a PVC, it can take you 2-3 days to even register. Apart from that, too, for you to go and get the PVC takes another 1 week. That's one. Then two, on the day of election, just to make sure that it is the poor that will vote. Because for the poor to vote, it's easy for the money bag to buy their conscience. Right. So you have to come on the day of election to force to register. They call it accreditation. Then you come back and vote. The interval is about 3-4 hours. We want to wait there. Time is money. That's the point. So we have to first tackle the issue, the system, tackle INEC. INEC is the issue. For you to get a PVC is difficult. To register is difficult. To get a PVC, to even vote is difficult. That's the point. So, that's the first part. The second issue has to do with finance. Election, even your polling booths, the polling units, the people that will represent you. Nobody wants to come and tell you, "Oh, I'm doing this for my community." You have to just pay. So it is the highest bidder. Then when you come to even the primaries, not you want to run bill, fantastic. How do you get even the ticket in APC or PDP or any of the main party? So
it's still a hurdle to cross.
You see, when you want to contest an election,
right,
you might have to pay about 5 to 10 million naira buying the form alone. That's one. Then, depending on your party, it might be direct delegate or indirect delegate. If it's indirect delegate or direct delegate, you need to even pay. Nobody wants to vote for you based on what you are bringing to the table, based on your manifesto, based on your personality,
or your ideas,
based on what you have done in the past. Right. Nobody give a damn about that. That's why you have non-entities ruling us in Nigeria. That's the point, and that's the truth.
So how can we change this whole system that seems to, put us where we are at this point?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to do practically.
Right.
I started on my own from Labour, trying to see if I can change things. But on the day of election, the party logo was omitted from the ballot paper, so I can't even vote for myself on the day of election. So it's a system thing. So until we get the right people there, then they will start changing the system. This is the system. You have to first change the system before we can even change Nigeria. Right now, I'm contesting in Ekiti State. You know what I'm saying? Normally, you don't even need more than maybe 5 to 10 million naira to become a governor in any sane society. But in Nigeria, they will tell you, what do you have for us? Nobody cares about my manifesto, what I want to do. So I just have to go to the field, keep on talking to the people, telling them that, you see, we can't, we can't just continue, you know what I'm saying, to be like Esau in the Bible, to sell our birthright for a morsel of meal. That's the point. So you need a lot of money to become anything in Nigeria based on what is on ground now, the system.
Wow.
So
this is really, worrying, because they're not too young to run, law. It's supposed to change all of that, even though it is just a law. But it has to take a lot of, will I say, more work on the part of the young minds, so that they can have a go at the center, so it doesn't look like the same crop of individuals who have over and over the years.
Yes.
But let me quickly bring in Alistair now. Alistair, from what Adewale is saying, clearly there's so much hurdles to cross. But from your own perspective, in the UK now, how do you think you can, perchance become the next president, knowing that there is a lot of work to be done if a young person like yourself needs to become, the next president or the next governor, however it may be?
Well, there's no doubt that there's quite a lot of hurdles, and that's the main reason why people like myself are joining the race, in order for us to give hope to our people, to show them that things can be done the other way around. I absolutely believe that there's nothing you can achieve without finance. In this situation, you call it funding. Nevertheless, there's quite a lot of people as well that believe that the mentality in our country definitely need a change. But then, if you don't try, you will never know if you can actually be part and parcel of those positive agents that can change the country. If a lot of people feel like they cannot, then at least for those who have volunteered and come forward that they want to serve the humanity in Nigeria, change the situation, then at least they can be counted that they try and they came forward and they personally, fully want to change the system. Now, in my undertaking is we will not give money to anybody in Nigeria. We will not buy a vote. What we're giving, what we're rendering to the Nigerian people is leadership. For the last 2 decades, I have been in the forefront of selling the brand Nigeria, not just the Nigerians, but to the international community. Through that window, we have been able to generate investors into our dear country. Now, you will take into consideration that the diasporan community on a yearly basis send more than $21 billion to Nigeria. Without that, then Nigeria could be in a messier situation. Now, in Nigeria, we are on the ground as much as we're outside the country. There has been various election primaries which we have personally participated in. So I know the system inside out. The difference is I've never been elected in a position in the country, but I have been a former chairman of Nigerians in the Diaspora Organization. And in Nigeria, as I said, from the top to the lowest elected position, we have participated. We have been there when people were nominated.
Right.
We have done the campaign for them to be elected. There is no doubt that Nigeria absolutely needs her democracy to be strengthened. That is the quality of what we're bringing on board. And wherever our government is doing something, we need to give them kudos. But there's a lot of things that are technically, presently, not right in the system. So a lot of people are talking behind the scenes saying they need a change. But if they're not coming forward to participate in that change, then my take is, then we should be quiet. We should be silent and allow those who are willing to create that change to continue to do the change that they're giving us.
Right, point taken there, Alistair. Let me quickly bring in Shogo Adewale here, because it seems he has something to say.
Yes, I think it's not really getting what I'm saying. I'm saying that for us to have a change in Nigeria, we like mind must all come together. You've got ANRP, you've got SDP, you've got ADP, you've got all manner of political parties, and we are dissipating energy. If we really want to have a change, we have to come together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Put our ideas together and effect this change. Because the elites are few, compared to the people, the poor of the poor. And the poor of the poor does not even care about the change you're talking about. All they need is, what can I get from you? I'm on ground. I've participated in the election from reps to Senate now to the governor, government election. Yeah. I'm saying that getting the likes mind working together has been difficult. I tried one time to have 1 million votes for change in Nigeria. I called likes mind. Let's come together and make that change. But some decide to be in APC, some want to go to PDP. That's how the movement collapsed. So he's in UK. He's going to have his own political party. I'm in ADP. Another person that has similar idea the same way that he has might be another political party. I believe that for us to have a meaningful change in Nigeria, the elites must all come together as one.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. But you don't forget the fact, for instance, if the elites come together, I don't need to bribe any elites to vote for me. No, I don't need to bribe a delegate. I don't need to even give you money to vote for me on the day of election. But for the majority of the people that will vote on the day of election are the poor of the poor. That's what I'm saying. That the system in Nigeria right now is wrong. But if we can all come together as one, we can effect the change.
Right. Now, but there's still something that is affecting, this same, the same change you're talking about. That is corruption. And that corruption is something that has to be dealt with. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I'm saying, okay, for instance, let's say 1,000 of us come together, and put down 1 million. That's $1 billion. So we can change things on our own. But unfortunately, how can we get the 1,000 people to come together, raise funds, and change things? Sometimes even the part of the 1,000 can be bribed. I will not start all over again.
And that is corruption as well.
Yeah, that's corruption. So getting the elite, the youth coming together, I think the major problem I've been facing for the past 13 years in Nigeria.
So we need to get our acts together if we definitely need to take the power from the center.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you very much, Otumba Segun Adewale, politician for the Action Democratic Party in Nigeria. We appreciate your thoughts on Africa Today. And I'd like to thank my guest on Skype, Alistair Shoyode, media consultant and as well a presidential aspirant for the 2019 election. We thank you very much for your insights on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Armed with potentials but deprived of opportunities, life for the average African youth still leaves much to be desired as issues of sustainable development continues to hang on a balance. Ahead of the 2019 election, the turning point for Nigeria begins with a paradigm shift, where youth aren't just seen as leaders of a distant future, but partners in progress to redeem the present from the past. And that is our package for today. But don't forget to join the conversation on Twitter at TVC News NG, and also follow me for updates around Africa at Esther TVC News. Until the next one, I am Esther Amapariola, and always remember, Africa can only get better.